Announced in 2022, the Accurascale Class 31 has mostly arrived, but is this the ultimate ped? Let's take a closer look. And here they are in all their glory on the layout. Now, I have borrowed these from work just so I can put together this video. Originally launched back in 2022 at the Chinner and Princess Risborough Railway down south to me. We had great fun filming the launch video, which I did when I worked for Hornby magazine, and as you can see with some of the footage, we had a great time going back and forth getting the shots for that launch video. That was met with some excitement actually, because back in the day Accurascale would have been an extremely young company, and then to announce all of these was quite something special. But they did arrive in batches, and I'm going to run you through them now. So as you can imagine, the tooling suite for these locomotives has been absolutely massive, and it's a real credit to the factory and the project manager Gareth Bayer, who also brought us the Class 37. It has been an immense task to cover all the toolings and hopefully get everything correct. So the first batch started with none other than 6 variants that came in BR Blue. They arrived first off the boat, as it were, including the one I've actually purchased, 31128, which is currently at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway and the only mainline registered Class 31. I believe you can actually take a trip in front or behind this going to Whitby if you ever fancied going up that way. Then in batch 2 we were joined by I believe it was 3 or 4 BR Green Class 31s, and that they were joined by the Class 30. Now, what makes the 30 particularly special is not only, as with the rest of them, are they accurate to the prototype, but it also has prototypical sound file, a custom sound file to mirror the Merley's engine, which was only in the Class 30, short-lived. The green 30s and 31 was followed very swiftly by a bit of colour. Now, as you can see, we have the rail freight, the intercity, the Dutch, and the Reggie Rail livery, and of course we've modelled Wigan Pier, and it's proving very popular in this era. But there's a few more specials still to come. And then the final batch, which is, as I'm filming this, still to come. I think we're a week or so away, but it's the excitement, particularly for where I'm standing, because 31466, which is also at the North Yorkshire Moors Railway, it's just been sold by the Severn Valley Railway, believe it or not. This is the second one I have ordered and I'm waiting for, so it's teasing me to have it on the layout. But this will be joined by the mainline blue variant and 2 network rail 31s. Of course, the one that's omitted from this lineup is the fancy one with all the lights on the front. Now, hopefully I can show you a picture of those lights on the screen now, but as you can see, it's been rather a real test for the factory to get all the front lights working on that model, but won't be long now. And I've got to say, I think I'm tempted to get that one just because of how much engineering has gone into that behind the scenes. It's a real treat for us modelers, I'll tell you. And then amongst all of these locomotives, you've then got the exclusives to follow as well, which will come with this selection in a week or so. That includes the Hornby Magazine coal sector livery, and I believe the Rails of Sheffield have the Severn Valley Railway, and there are a handful of others as well. So, blimey, you've really got a lot of choice in the first run of Class 30s and 31s from Accurascale. So to say it's comprehensive would be an understatement. But bringing them out is half the battle. Let's take a closer look at a model to see if the features live up to the hype. So here we are. Let's have a closer look. Now, I have selected 31128, which is my own Class 31 to have a closer look at, because I want to show you some of the features that are dotted around. Now, as you can probably gather from Accurascale, obviously I'm slightly biased because I work with these day in, day out, but I think the detail is second to none. These are a product of a 3D scan and many, many months of reviewing CAD and drawings and things like that, particularly around the face of the model and, of course, the grills as well. Extra attention has been paid to these areas just to get the high fidelity feel of this model and ultimately to make it the definitive Class 31. Right, so what are its features? So, apart from high fidelity detail, you have a 21-pin socket, which is underneath the magnetic roof, as you can see just there. And then, of course, to the side, you've got the Accurathrash speaker. There's also a Sugar Cube speaker in there as well, so it's the traditional Accurascale sound setup. All the electronics as standard in this locomotive have been done by ESU, so the lighting functions are particularly good. So apart from things like you've got cab lights, you've got desk lights, obviously you've got controllable headlights on the front, you've also got independently controlled brake lights as well. So you can really replicate the scenes of old if you want, say, one brake light on rather than 2. So what I'm going to do, obviously I've removed the magnetic hood. So if you want to convert it from DC to DCC, all you have to do is take that off, and then as you can see there's a couple of switches in there. You would change them going from DC to DCC using the card in the box, and all you do is you swap your chip out and away you go. You can also remove the body, which I'm going to attempt to do in one foul swoop. So it is 4 plugs which are just behind the bogie positions, so here and here, and with all the pipe details attached, you just pinch your nails in and you can see the body drops off, easy as that. And now we have a closer look, and of course you can see the Accurathrash speaker there, Sugar Cube speaker there, and you've even got pogo connectors at either end which connect to the roof for the various lighting. So there's no wires to obstruct getting the body off. And as you can see, this model is basically encased in a lovely die-cast sort of metal lump, as it were. Now, this is to give it weight. I think this loco in particular weighs 462 grams exactly, which is plenty heavy enough. Although, ironically, not as heavy as the new Class 60, which is coming from Accurascale, which is nearly twice the weight, believe it or not. So that's one to look forward to, because that's a really heavy beast. No, coming back to the 31, as you can see, a very tidy package. And of course, the biggest feature for an upgrade to an Accurascale model as standard out of the box is we now have a working fan. So this is automatically controlled when the sound function is on. Yeah, so that's a real improvement. And the best thing about all of that is the working fan has come at no extra cost to the end user with the 31s. So I actually think that is quite amazing, the spec you have. Now, that's not all. If we turn the locomotive over, we also have hall sensors underneath the bogies. So if you activate the flange squeal sound, that will be controlled. So if the bogie is turned extremely tightly, whether it be points or close curves, then that will activate the flange squeal sound, which again is quite fun, particularly if you, like me, and you like playing trains. That's very satisfying indeed. So if you were converting this from DC to DCC sound, this is the DCC sound one out of the box, so it comes with the correct chip with all the mapped functions for the loco, and of course the Accurathrash speaker. But if you were doing this from a DC loco, you would have a blanking plate here, which needs to be swapped for this one, and you'd also need to add the Accurathrash speaker. Now, where this is different to other Accurascale locomotives is ordinarily there are two hooks on the end, which you would then put clips onto. With the 31, because the loco is actually shorter, there's no room for the lugs, so they have to be filed off, and then you place it straight down. Easy peasy. It's also very easy to add your crew to whichever side you want to, should you want to. And again, we've got the Model U crews, which are 3D printed, and they just get stuck in there, depending on your era, and are nicely illuminated by cab lights, and of course the dial lights as well. And of course the back wall of the cab is also highly detailed. Nothing missed. You can almost read the writing on the inside. So speaking as a hobbyist, one area which I think massively celebrates the importance of competition in the industry is this locomotive coming out at the price it did resulted in the Bachmann version, which is also brand new. I've not got one to show you today, but I'm sure it's equally as nice. But they reduced their RRP to match the Accurascale Class 31. So that just shows you the absolute importance of competition in this day and age. So it's all well and good having duplication and things like that as an argument. Let's not do it because of duplication in this case, which I imagine was just an unfortunate clash, we now have two big brands vying for your custom by not only increasing the tech possible, but also lowering the price to you to make it more affordable. So just a little tidbit into the industry. Right, I'm going to put the body back on now, and we'll go and put it on the layout and listen to some sounds.
So I'm going to start us off with a cold start. I won't run through all the sounds, but you'll get a general idea. I just love how the working fan is in tune with the sound file, although I'm not sure if the frame rate of the camera is making it look like it's changed direction. It is on the camera screen, but I tell you it's not, it's just speeding up and slowing down with the sound file. So another function I really like is when you press F7 on your controller, you get what's called drive hold, which means you've basically locked the speed of the locomotive, whether it be at a standstill like it is or it's moving, and then you're in complete control of the sound rather than the actual speed of the loco. So with drive hold on, I can now turn this up and we get a full thrash. Which is great. So if you have a shorter layout or you want to have a really heavy train, you can start the train off as I'm doing here. It's going to speed step 20, but if you want it to thrash heavier, drive hold on, turn it up.
And there we go. Hopefully this has provided a close look and an insight into Accurascale's latest diesel project, the Class 31. Now, as I'm filming this, it won't be too long until the exclusives and remaining colourful liveries arrive, including the one I'm waiting for, 31466, in the stunning EWS livery. Do let me know down below in the comments if you have one of these, or if you've not got one of these. Let me know what you think of them. And of course, do you have a favourite part of them? Let me know. I'm all ears. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on this impressive suite of tooling. Right, as ever, I want to say a big thank you very much for watching. Do take care, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.